Cormaga the Cahier, Cormaga the Governor, has talked Oscor Questionov. I want to ask you about the forthcoming banking inquiry and the European Central Bank's participation therein. Have you discussed that with your ECB colleagues?
I've heard some discussions. I haven't participated in them. I've felt that it's up to the rest of them to decide what they want to do. I gather they're not minded to attend. That was the latest I heard.
So they're not minded to attend. Has it come up? Have you discussed it with Mr. Draghi?
I haven't participated. I've chosen to stay quiet on this issue. Honestly, I think. Why? Because, what's the point of my saying, go on, you should go. Should I tell him to go or come or not?
Yeah, I think so.
I should tell him to go?
I suppose, Governor, you've got to decide. I mean, you're Governor of the Central Bank here.
No, there's no question about that. Yeah. We know where I stand on this, but is this an issue that it's...
You're also a member of the Governing Board. You're like the Trinity.
Yeah. There's no ambiguity about my position on it, but in an issue like this, they're going to make their minds up on the basis of their position vis-à-vis all national governments. They're not really concerned about the Irish situation.
But that's disconcerting. When you refer to they, I mean, it's really we, because you're a member of the board there. So surely you can be part of a decision-making process that says, yes, we, as the European Central Bank, which you're a part of, representing us, we will. So,
Senator, would you like to give me a reason that you think would convince them that it would be in their interests to do it? That's really what the territory is. I can't think of any reason.
You've got to go. I think as our representative there, it being in our best interest, and you should explain to them there that this is absolutely essential for public faith in the European system, that the public needs to find out what happened.
I'm not sure it's essential for us, because I think I can tell that, I don't have any view as whether they should go or not, but I think I can tell my understanding of the ECB's position at all points in time, and I will do so, and I'll make distinctions between what they thought and what I thought.
But sorry, Governor, we want to know about, I mean, one could compare you to the Trinity, but there's only two persons in one here, the Irish Central Bank and the European Central Bank, but you have a key role here, and I'm sure you'll have no difficulty coming before the committee, and that's not a question as Governor here. But do you not think it would be better if your European colleagues, some of whom seem to have more influence than others in terms of obviously the President, of course, but also maybe some other members of the Executive Council, would it not be helpful to find out what happened, not just in Ireland, but this had European consequences, and to come before us here to explain what happened in a manner of accountability?
Look, I haven't had any difficulty in making that point to them, but it will be ineffective. They will make their decision on the basis of
and will there be a vote at the Executive Council on this?
No.
Why not?
There'll be invited individuals. Will be invited. You'll probably already have invited the President.
Well, I'm not on the committee, so that's why I'm talking about it. I'm not bound. I'm sure my colleagues here who are on the committee wouldn't be able to discuss it.
I have no problem with them coming, and I will pass any messages that this committee or any other committee wants to do, and I will do that, and I'll express my view on the reception that they will receive. I'll do anything you want at that, but it will have no effect. I like spending my time doing things that have effect.
Will there not be a vote of the Governing Council as to whether they would come down to
Then I'll vote in favour of them coming. But I'll
you put a motion down
at
the Governing Council? Will you put a motion down at the Governing Council, or whatever the procedures are, to start this ball rolling?
Senator, we should maybe go to the ECB in Frankfurt.
Well, perhaps we should. This
strong delegation.
Because I suppose the question is that do we have? I mean, there was so much going on at that time. I mean, you rang into Morning Ireland effectively from Frankfurt, so you were over there as part of your role, and obviously representing us, which had a separate role there and a separate commitment to the European Central Bank. We then had, and on that day after the Morning Ireland interview, it was widely perceived that actually we had gone into a bailout, and it was all sorted basically, and we were grateful to Governor Honohan for clarifying things that had been the subject of huge confusion that week, and there was huge confusion, and there were mixed messages coming from political sources, except that. But the following day, then, the governor of the central bank, or effectively your boss there, or the lead member, the president of the central bank in Frankfurt, saw fit then to issue a letter threatening Ireland with no further ELA money to the banks if we didn't actually go into a bailout. Notwithstanding the fact that they'd just given us some more ELA money, I think, after your Morning Ireland interview. So I suppose we want to find out what happened there, who was acting for who, was there a bailout in place or not? Why were we threatened on the Friday after you told us that there was a bailout?
And I'll give a full account of everything that I know about that, which is a lot. And so, yes.
Can I ask you,
yeah.
You've said different things. I mean, you first said that your colleagues were minded not to go the inquiry. And then you said that you didn't really know, or that you know. But how do you know they're minded not to go? Have they said that to you? Look, we're not going to Dublin. You can forget about it. Or has there been a discussion?
More or less like that. More or less like that.
More or less like that.
Yeah.
They said they couldn't be bothered coming to our committee.
No, I didn't say couldn't be bothered.
Senator.
They weren't minded to.
Senator, 1 minute.
They weren't minded to come. Well, I certainly would be urging you to go to your colleagues and ask them to come. That we want to know what happened. We seem to be part of a geopolitical event, apart from our own problems, which we're not.
I think there's going to be, certainly from my point, if I felt that there's any secrets that were going to be covered up, then I would be in a different space. But everything's going to be completely open, and I'll disclose everything.
Sorry, Governor, I've absolutely no doubt about you or the Irish Central Bank that we will find everything that's possible, and the committee has powers to do that. But I'm concerned about the European Central Bank, which you're a member of the Council, what was going on there. And do you not honestly think that you should go over there as an advocate for us, for the people of Ireland who want answers, and to say, look, you've got to come over to this.
I know the answers, so I'll give you the answers. I mean, I don't think if I thought I had any influence in this, Senator, I would. But I'm not going to say to you, oh, I'll go over and I'll get them to come here, because, you know, it's not going to happen. So, I mean, I understand that...
Can you answer quickly why you went on morning, why it was necessary for you to go on Morning Ireland the day before Taoiseach threatened us with the removal of...
Well, put it the other way around. Why did he feel necessary to write a letter after that? I went on Morning Ireland with nothing to do with Mr. Taoiseach.
But you were in Frankfurt.
I was.
Yeah.
I was, but I wasn't doing it at the behest of anybody except my own judgment of my responsibilities.